Okay, here we are again. ExtremeHydrogenLabs.com. We emptied the tank. Earlier we were drawing way too much amperage. I lightened up very much on my sodium bicarbonate. And that tank holds about 2.5 gallons roughly. And I had 4 tablespoons in there earlier. Now I've gone down to roughly half tablespoon. And what I did is I raised the water temperature. I don't know if you can see this, but we're about 129 degrees. 14.36 volts. Our analog shows that also. So we should be pretty correct on that. I have a cable system running outside to the vehicle, which I have a stainless plate affixed to both sides of my test tank. Then I can connect whatever I want to connect, and then I have my test cables, and I can hook up to whatever plate system I would like to. I have tried and I have seen this wire system on the internet, which this is just Lexan and this is hot glue, and on the top, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's a positive on the left and a negative on the right, and they're spiraled and separated from each other. I was not happy with the results of this. I don't understand. I've seen them in other applications, I guess you would say. I'm not going to name them or how they were used on the internet, because you know, somebody may get mad or whatever. I don't know how they're doing it. I thought about ordering their plans because they're cheap, just to see, because it looked to me like they were getting a halfway decent production. But we'll just leave this one alone right now. I seem to be doing rather well with what I have here. Now, at 127 degrees water, which I put that in there, and I'm out of distilled water, so this is straight tap water, which I'm not real happy with, but that's why it's pond scummy looking. What are you gonna do? You run out of water at 10 o'clock at night? Where are you gonna go? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna set the camera down here for a quick second. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. We're going to go ahead and hook our power up. Come back to the camera. One of these days I'll get set up a little better. We're producing rather well. And if you notice, we're staying about 13.25, 1320 volts. I gotta go buy a new amp meter. I burnt my amp meter up there last week. I had the behemoth cell, 125 plates. It was drawing over 150 amps. I melted it. Stupid, but you know, science. You gotta play around. Let's see our pond scum here. Producing rather well. Now we're going to set the camera here down for a quick second. We're going to get our old trusty torch out, get her lit, and we're going to come back to it. See that bubble right there? Well, that bubble went bye-bye. Either way, we'll hit the bubbles. That's rather huge. I think that's a rather good gas production. I need to grab an amp meter up tomorrow. It blows my torch out, so I can't keep going. Otherwise I just keep lighting the torch. It seemed to have pretty interesting effect going on in here also. I have a couple plates producing real hard. And then I have a couple, they're producing, but nothing near the other couple. And the other couple are thicker plates. They're actually old boat trim tabs. I ran out of stainless. I used them. They are about 60 thousandths of an inch thick. My other stainless is probably 30 to 35 thousandths. The 60 thousandths thick stainless seems to just be producing, unbelievably. Well, I'm getting these little flaky things now. I don't know what that is. Is that iron in the water? Or what? If that's iron in the water that I'm separating, is that what we're drinking out of our tap water? That kind of scares me. Makes me want to put a filter on my drinking water faucet in the house there. Well, we're going to do a few more tests. We'll see what happens with things. But as of this moment, production seems to be rather well. Voltage is good. We're not down to 8 volts like we were earlier. So I'd have to say amperage is gone way down. We'll feel our cables. Your cables aren't even getting hot now. To be honest with you, I really liked my production earlier because if you look at the video from earlier, it was putting out way more than this. Even though I'm not measuring this right now, once I have my flow meter there, I don't have anything set up yet other than this little guy here that I'm going to hook a hose up to, and I have my holes drilled and put my unit in there and fill it up, and then I can go on my flow meter and I'll put in a bubbler or two and just to see what's going on. But that's where we're at right now. Just amazing little discoveries. But I'm very happy with the way what's going on here, and it really makes me think if I had more distilled water at this point right now, a couple gallons of distilled water in there, and then the amount of sodium hydroxide that I put in there rather than the huge amount that was in there earlier, how well this would be doing. Because I don't know if you can see it, but you see these little brown floaties flaking off everywhere, and the things turn into pond scum, and you can see them laying in the bottom in there. And it is definitely nothing to do with my metal, because to the best of my knowledge, or what I've gotten as far as my metal and everything, my bolts, my washers, so on and so forth,